What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another slow news day live. We're gonna talk about probably things now that will never happen, but we're gonna do it still. With me today is Davide and Dash. I think for the first time together. Pretty sure, or not?
No, a
No,
couple
it
of
has it.
times.
Yeah, it's
We
a
did it.
couple of times.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, great. Yeah. Dash, Ali, how are you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Ali hasn't done that in a while, though, mind
I know.
Oh no, I can't.
After that video we put out, maybe he's self-conscious.
Yeah, I watched it. The full 6 minutes or 5, whatever, or what it was.
5.5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, never gonna get that back. But we're gonna talk about, well, the thumbnail. So that's Bremer, because that was the news today against Von Tutto Sport. But it only makes sense when we're getting, like, if they don't link us now with him, they're never gonna do it. Like, so it was a perfect time for them to do it. It's from Tutto Sport. I'll bring it up now on the screen so everybody can see it. So it's Tutto Sport, and they're basically reporting that they're in discussion for Mandragora, who wants to stay at Torino, but Fiorentina are offering more. But Tutto Sport is staying in talks between Torino and Juve for Mandragora. The name of Bremer has come up. The Brazilian has an agreement with Inter for some time, but the Nerazzurri have not yet been able to close the deal, and the Bianconeri could be able to use Mandragora basically in the negotiations. What do you make of that, Dash? Like, is it realistic?
I don't. It is, and it isn't, because like they're willing to open the door with us, so it's like okay, because they are something outrageous for Mondragola. It was like, so his value was like 8 million. They were doing 1 million per year for like 8 installments, and then if they got relegated, then they wouldn't have to pay at all, which was weird. I could see it, possibly going in there. I mean, we'll still probably have to pay like 35 to 40 just because they don't like us, but I mean, it's not, we've seen crazier things, like, right now PSG is willing to give anyone Neymar for a loan if they're willing to cover any part of that salary. So I don't know. I mean, like, let's be real here, guys. Like, how many of us literally thought that Inter would sign Lukaku on a 1-year dry loan? Absolutely nobody. So at this point, as Gigi Juve would say, Mercato is crazy, everybody. So anything can happen. I mean, it's fantasy, but like at this point, like, let's be real here. Like, anything can happen at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if Torino's like, okay, sure, we'll do that. Because, like, yeah, Inter didn't close the deal, so hey, their loss, our win.
Yeah.
Rather than crazy, I will call it Mercato's all over the place, and I think we saw that yesterday when I was live at Davide. It was all over the place. But what do you think, Davide? Do you think it's possible to get Bremer when he has an agreement with Inter for months now, basically?
I think we've proven that an agreement doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, how many times have we heard agreement in principle or an agreement in place and then things fall apart? Or, I mean, like Dash said, you just don't know. Anything can happen. I wouldn't even say it's fantasy. It's completely in the realm of possibility right now. And I mean, if we can take a player away from Inter, get rid of Mandragora, on top of that, which we want to, get a good deal. I mean, if this works out, it's just our management doing another. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're weakening Inter at the same time improving our defense. Like, that is like an absolutely insane deal to pull off if that happens. Like, I will buy a Juventus jersey and put Arriva Bene's like name on the back of it if that actually does happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't want to be negative, but I think he wants to join Inter. I think Inter are selling Skriniar for that reason, because they know they have a replacement lined up. There haven't been talks with Torino, apparently, between Inter and Torino, and Cairo is kind of pissed off about that basically because he feels that Inter's being arrogant apparently because they have have an agreement with Bremer, so they think they can close the deal whenever they want to close it basically. So that's the only thing. But Torino wants close to 40 mil, by the way, apparently with bonuses, which is a lot of money. But if you look at how defenders are being sold now, like Botman cost 40 million euros. And he's a good player, but Bremer was the best defender in Serie A last season. So it makes kind of sense. And if you like, I tweeted it out. If you lose De Ligt and Chiellini, you cannot come with option B or like a B option because that's not good enough. Or last season already we were shaky. So imagine if you are how you're gonna look without Chiellini or basically De Ligt. So it makes sense that we're getting linked with him, but I don't believe it. But then again, I sat back when I saw the news. I'm like, I don't believe we're gonna get Koulibaly or Bremer for different reasons. That's it. There's nobody else left. So it must be one of the two. Otherwise, I think we're in big trouble, in my opinion.
There's still Badiashile, obviously, maybe
Apparently,
not quite at that same level yet, but he's talked about.
Yeah,
apparently,
but
Monaco wants insane money. Like, he's not worth that money. That's the type of money they're looking at for, basically.
yeah, because
and if
you look at
if it's close to
Monaco's
50,
track record-
then it's a no for me. Like, I was all for him if he came in and he was a piece with De Ligt and Bonucci and you grow into the team. But if it's 60 mil to be the starter, I'm like, no. I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah, because if you're paying upwards beyond the 45 million, you're looking at starter quality, and if you're not starter quality, it makes no sense. But like, you got to think about it though, because like Monaco can throw some random prices out there, and then Real Madrid will pay 100 million for Chouameni. So it's like, and he's not going to start on that Madrid team. I'd be surprised if he did. But like Monaco right now, they have every reason to inflate their prices because they have buyers that are willing to spend that money. So it doesn't surprise me that they're asking for an outrageous amount. But how much we rate Gazzetta dello Sport, they're saying that Allegri doesn't rate him as a starter anyways. I mean, he's a good player for Allegri, but Allegri doesn't think he's starting capability. And if we are to lose De Ligt, we definitely need a 1A or an A starter, not a B or a potential to grow into a starter, because that's what Gatti's for. He's the grow up role per se. So he's I'll be there. I'll see if I can integrate into the team. If I do, that's great. If you have two center backs that you're looking to integrate into your team, that's not good, especially if you're trying to push for a title.
Well, that's hard in a 4-4-2 where you're only going to be playing 2 a match, maybe 3 in rotation. You can't have that.
No.
Yeah.
And Julian's comment. So Julian was watching AFTV, so I rewatched it, or I watched it back now when I was working, and that was the wildest 50 minutes I've ever witnessed. That was actually hilarious. So I want to tell people to go and watch that. The latest video, the first 15 to 20 minutes were wild. Apparently, Gabriel is the best defender in the Premier League almost. Like, he was making a debate. Like, he said he's going to start for City. He's better than Diaz last season. He's better than Stones last season.
What's going on there?
Yeah. That was wild. So, Gabriel, apparently, he is the main guy, but he's not the main guy. Nico Schira is linking us with Gabriel, saying it's Koulibaly or Gabriel the club will go for if they sell De Ligt. And yeah, maybe because Arsenal have a lot of defenders. They're going for Lisandro Martinez, so they are looking to sell. I think it's gonna be Saliba who they will sell, and I will be all for that, as people know. So yeah. Okay. Next topic, or not next topic. We will come back to Bremer, because yeah, like I said, we only have kind of 2 names at the moment. It's him and Koulibaly, and the Koulibaly rumors again today were all over the place, like all over the place. Gazzetta Sport saying he won't do that. He won't leave Napoli for Juve. Tutto Sport saying it's possible. Corriere dello Sport saying there's talks all over the place. A Napoli watcher saying they're pushing with his agent to basically tell Koulibaly that he needs to join, while his manager is in England to talk with Chelsea. But the news I picked up is from my good friend Monblano. Oops, not this one. It's this one. And he spoke, and I was watching. I was working, so I had it on the background, and he came on for like, I'm gonna say, a good solid 8 minutes, and he gave away, or like he made 10 stories. Like he had 10 stories. It was unbelievable. But to be honest, Giovanni Albanese was also speaking about an offer. Like he said, I have info that the club made an offer, but I have no idea what the offer is. So Milano jumped in and he said the first offer will be 20 mil plus Rovella, who is valued at 20 mil. Then the talks went on, saying that Napoli will ask more from Juventus than they will ask from, let's say, Chelsea. What do you first of all, we're gonna break it apart. First thing, do you believe Napoli will ask more from Juve than other clubs, knowing it's only 1 year left on the deal?
Kind of depends on if there's serious offers or not. Like it would make sense if, I don't know, say Team X is paying 50 mil, and then he'll be like, Juve, you want 60? I mean, if the best offer is 40, they're gonna maybe just say, hey, give us 45, 50. I can see him doing that if the offers are in, or maybe to bluff. But if nobody's putting money down, they have to take what they get. So I think it just completely depends on what the market's saying right now.
Yeah, and then also you have to take into a factor how petty De Laurentiis is, or what his mood is at the time is too, because like that guy's mood changes like the weather. 1 minute he's all happy-go-lucky, and next minute he's blaming Juve because his car keys got lost. So it depends, because like, for example, if Barcelona, Chelsea, and them all start putting money offers in there, I don't see us getting them, because they'll be able to, like, especially Chelsea, they'll be able to give them 10, 12 million a season easy without a problem. So yeah, if Chelsea goes in and Chelsea makes a concrete offer and starts talking to Koulibaly, then I don't see us getting him unless Koulibaly is literally willing to stay in Italy and move to Torino and leave Naples. But it's tough for me to see it, because the only reason for us, like the reason why we had that loophole with Higuain, was there was a release clause, we hit it, and we talked to his agent, and boom. Whereas like with Koulibaly, there's no release clause, so we actually have to deal with De Laurentiis. So I have my skepticisms. To me, it's almost like another Cairo, where we have to see how the owner feels, if he's in the mood to deal or not deal.
It'll make for good theater at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then De Laurentiis, if he does sell to us, he's gonna go in an interview 5 months from now saying how Juventus robbed him blind for stealing Koulibaly, and he never wanted to sell him, and blah 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 blah. Because he's a film director, he needs to make a new documentary to make some money. So his next movie will be the Juventus that robbed me again, Part 3.
You can spend it any way you want down there, right? They're Southern Italy. I mean, my family's Southern Italian. I know how they're like. Very, very emotional people.
Okay. That was the first part of my question. The second part of my question is, what do you think about, forget about the value of Rovella, apparently that's 20 mil, forget about that. What do you think of including Rovella in a deal to get Koulibaly, or I'm just saying something now, to get Savic, to get, I don't know who, Zaniolo, like, if you know what I mean. What do you make of that? Like, including promising young talents, young players. What do you make about that? Like, are you okay with it? Because I know because Julian asked that in our group chat, private group chat, and he said yes, and Justin said also yes. What do you make of that, Davide? Are you okay with that?
We have to be realistic with the situation with our young midfielders. We have 3 guys competing for a spot. Rovella maybe being the most advanced, but the guy we probably want to keep the least long term. So yeah, why not? If we're short on cash and we're stacked in one specific area, which is youth midfielders, something has to budge, and it's an out. It kind of makes a decision for us too, because I'm assuming we don't know who we want to keep of the three. So if we can get and move Rovella out, then we know it's Fagioli, Moretti, and I'd say definitely Moretti at this point. So it gives those guys their playing time while getting us reinforcements in an area that we absolutely are going to need them, especially if De Ligt does leave. We have to do what we can in the situation to reinforce the center backs.
Really quickly, because Julian put something out there. My mistake, because I didn't put on my TV. I will do that now. Di Marzio said that Dennis Pratt is signing for Fiorentina for 7 mil, which could be important news. Maybe the Mondragón deal will not happen because he's pushing for Torino, and the difference with what we want and Torino's offering is not a lot. It's like 1.5 million or something. Maybe that's a lot for Torino, but you know what I mean. So maybe the Bremer thing can become something. Just putting that out there. Dash, what do you make of?
So I'm gonna probably have the dark horse opinion here. I'm gonna say no. Let them fight in preseason, because I want us to get the best one out of the three, and then we'll move whichever we have to move. Yeah, you can say that Rovella is the 20 million valuation right now, but to be honest with you, why sell him if he can develop into something decent? So it's a bunch of question marks right now. So for me, I'd prefer have them go through preseason, because again, most clubs aren't going to be scouting preseason training. So it's the club will be able to have a more informed decision instead of us moving now and saying hey, we're going to do this. I don't know. It's just, I'd rather see, because the thing is what happens if Rovella pops off somewhere else and we had him right there and we didn't even give him a shot to even show what he's capable of. I'm fine with moving him in August or mid-August, because that's okay. We've had a month, because I believe everyone reports, roughly around the first or second week of July. So if we're going to move him, I'm more comfortable moving him in the beginning of August or middle of August, where we've actually seen him play with the club, see how he actually fits into the system. But if we're doing a deal right now where we're shipping out Rovella before even playing him, I'm not a big fan of that, just because we're just going off of something. We're just throwing it out there without really evaluating our options.
Yeah, I'm also not really sure about doing that, to be honest. The club we should just be able to pay the money and get them. That's what I think. You can keep all three of them. You can, but it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna keep the three youngsters. They're young. Rovella has experience Serie A, Fagioli entire Serie B, Miretti 4 games in Serie A. But you're not gonna keep all three of them. So 2 will leave. I think 1 will leave. I think 2 will stay. I believe. So I get that, but I rather get rid of players who have been at the club for years and have basically contributed nothing to very little, for the compensation we're paying them, and have paid other clubs. So like Rabiot and all those players. I'd rather get rid of them and keep those and just pay 40 mil for Koulibaly or whatever. But
yeah, I agree with you there.
I know it's not going to happen. That's a mess up.
It's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Moving a Rabiot or an Arthur, even more so.
Yeah. So I don't know. But then again, if you lose the league and Bremer is not coming and all those things, and the only way to get Koulibaly, then yeah, I will say yeah, because we need Koulibaly at that point,
It'll be a panic buy like we did with Keane after Ronaldo. We paid probably 10 million more, at least 10 million more than we probably should have. We'll do that with Koulibaly if it comes down to it. We'll probably give him $60 or 60 million, just because that's what we would have to do. We would still come out with a few bucks, but not the deal that we're looking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I still think we overpay for him regardless, even whether it's a panic buy or even just a regular negotiation. I'm skeptical of De Laurentiis letting him walk to us for 40 million unless we got, something that he wants that we're willing to give him. I don't know. I'm very skeptical of it. I mean, we get him. It's great, but at the same time, I don't think that's going to be an easy battle to get Koulibaly off of Napoli, just because of, there's too many factors that we're dependent on, and it's the main factor is De Laurentiis. So like him getting past him is almost like a mountain. So it's like, I don't know. I want him. I'd be happy if we get him, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm gonna sit back, see how it goes, because it's Napoli, man. Like that's all I can say.
Look at
who's saying 60 mil. Did someone say 60 mil? Because I see the chat.
No, I threw 60 mil out because just as an arbitrary number, because it's not.
Yeah, but no, the club is not paying 60. No team, not even Chelsea, is paying 60 mil when he has 1 year left on his deal. Like they're not gonna do.
Yeah, we're using. So I think who said it? It was Crazy, right? No, we don't mean like actually 60 million. We're just throwing an arbitrary number out there just because we know how De Laurentiis deals with us. So it's not it's not quoted anywhere that we're paying 60 mil for him. No. It's just we're saying that De Laurentiis is kind of nuts like that and would possibly throw something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That being said, though, because we're asking essentially the release clause for De Ligt, so 125, and if Koulibaly's 40, yeah, sure, he's older, but Chelsea's going to pay the 40 for Koulibaly, and we're going to end up keeping De Ligt. Like in this situation, that's how I see it playing out, just because of the price difference.
Yeah, I mean, if Chelsea does go for Koulibaly, that means De Ligt is staying. So I mean, that's technically a good thing for us in theory. So.
Yeah, let them play that out.
I don't think. I don't know. Apparently, the offer for Koulibaly is like it's a big pay cut. Apparently, it's not 500,000. It's 2 million or something.
Everyone's taking pay cuts though.
That's his contract with Napoli, right? Like they're trying to drop him to like 2 or 3.
That's what De Laurentiis is asking. Like. That's a lot of money. Like, let's be honest. If he's gonna sign,
he deserves more.
He absolutely does.
If he signs for 4 years, that's a lot of money. Like, let's be realistic.
That's a lot, yeah.
When you're 31, you want the max. And I think if he joins Juve, you will get 7, 8, close to that. You will get that easily from the club.
Oh yeah, I can see 8 with bonuses for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you guys. So like the thing is because a lot of people do consensually agree that Koulibaly is better than De Ligt. So like, is he going to also get one of those Pogba deals where he makes more than De Ligt or not? That's what I'm a little bit curious to see, because the thing is like the club is essentially kind of been going, we have that salary cap that we want to do, but if you look at it, like for example with Pogba, we just offered Pogba an 8+2, 8+3. We don't know until that's confirmed. And then I think is Di Maria 5 or 7, because I thought it was 5.5 with bonuses, but close to 7. But again, that's not confirmed because the deal's not done yet. But like, are we bringing in all these players and offering the same salary cap? But like in theory, because Koulibaly's got more accomplishments than De Ligt has, so shouldn't Koulibaly easily be at that 8 million salary? And is the club willing to do another 8 million salary offer again? Because like we did it with Pogba, and Pogba was a free agent, and then is even Koulibaly willing to sign anything under that? Because if I was Koulibaly, I'd be like, why am I making less than De Ligt? Like I've had a more longer career. I've done more, and he's in theory a better Serie A defender than De Ligt is. But again, he's had more seasons in Serie A, so that's also a thing. I don't want to trigger a lot of De Ligt people and be like, oh, De Ligt this and this. I'm just going off of what's on tape. Koulibaly's played more seasons than De Ligt, had a lot more greater seasons than De Ligt. So it's one of those things where you look at it. If I'm Koulibaly, I'm automatically saying, hey, I want the same wage as De Ligt, if not higher. So,
and you'd have to go to Chelsea for that.
Yeah, and the best bet for that is Chelsea, because Barcelona will pay you $100,000 a year and then just say, yeah, we'll give you signing bonuses, but never pay you. But
Someone in the chat
Yeah.
is hating on us. We never said that Koulibaly is joining Juve, so you're just taking the piss now.
Yeah, we never
And
did.
I don't believe he wants to join. Like, I believe he has respect for Napoli fans. But there comes a point where he needs to think about his life, basically, and his career. And if Roma is saying, if Napoli is saying, yeah, you need to take a 2.5 pay cut, and Juve are saying, we're giving you 4 years, 8 million euros. I mean, love for your fans of Napoli can change really quickly because that's a lot of money. If you can earn close to 50 mil extra over the course of 3-4 years, that's a lot of money for your family, for the future. It is what it is. Like, that's the reality. If he doesn't do it, great, respect to him. He didn't choose the money. I don't know what to say, but at the moment, it could happen, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and wouldn't you think that Koulibaly actually wants to compete for once instead of like, having one shot? Because like even this, would you even count this last season as Napoli competing? Like, were they really in the title race at some point?
They were at the beginning, I think.
Let's say at 10 games towards the end, like 10 games, they were in it. No, even last, like 8 games before the end, and then they collapsed completely.
Yeah, but everyone kind of collapsed at the end there. So, I mean, technically, yeah, I would say they were competing.
Yeah, I mean, like the only time like they were actually like a serious title contender was that 91 point season that we got 94. So like I only thought of them as like being like an actual like competing like legitimately within like fingertip reach was that one time. And then like last year, I don't know, I never felt convinced. Like they had a great start to the season. Like I never felt convinced that they were gonna. It was always for me. It was always between the two Milan teams that were gonna win it. Like I mean, I don't know. If I were Koulibaly, like get that last paycheck and go somewhere and compete, which would be either us or Chelsea and whatnot. So I don't know. I mean, for him, he won the Cup of African Nations with Senegal. So if I were him, I would try to win something at the club level because like you're not gonna win at Napoli. Like
he should, yeah.
Yeah,
he should definitely look at an option, and Chelsea's gonna give that to him as well. Like, I mean, go to Chelsea. We'll keep De Ligt.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me as long as we get Chelsea or whoever off our backs for De Ligt, which gives us more leverage because right now it's a pain in the butt to negotiate with De Ligt because you know that there's teams that are willing to pay that $80-85 million release clause. That's the problem. So if there's some center back movement, then that might give us more leverage.
Pedula basically. Pedula said there could be a meeting tomorrow for Zaniolo, and the club is feeling kind of strong in their position because they know Zaniolo wants to join and Roma wants to sell. Also, Roma's open to include players. They like Arthur, but his wage is too much. They're now looking also at Ranocchia. So if they're looking at Ranocchia, if they're looking, it will be a permanent deal, by the way. But let's say he said possibly tomorrow. This morning he said before the weekend. So let's see how that will develop. Hanin has a good question. She's saying, excuse me. He said she said, to be honest, Bremer is a better deal. Lower salary, younger, same or less fee. The only question, and people in the chat already said that, is can he play in a back two, or like not in a back two, but in a two? I think he can. I'm pretty sure he will do that job. I think he will do that job. But that's the question you have. But if you look at it, like Koulibaly, he is a better player now. That's Bremer's quality. He is. Like if he goes Inter, that's a great deal for them. Like they're set for years, if he doesn't leave. Koulibaly is a better player at the moment. He is. But I kind of agree with Henny. That will be the better investment, in my opinion. Should Koulibaly want to leave at some point, you're not getting much. Close to nothing, if you know what I mean. If Bremer decides to leave, you will get a lot of money. So I agree with Hanin. That would make more sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with her either. It's just, again, for me, it's just the owners. Like, both players, for me, it's just both owners aren't willing to talk to us.
Oh, okay, Cairo, he can have a big amount. He can talk all that crap. He will sell. Like... He's broke. Like I don't want to say he's broke, but that's how he runs the club, like a crackhead. Like he's penny pinching every single deal. Like it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that before. He debates, or like he has meetings for 300K. Like it's insane what he does. Like it's unbelievable. He said basically no to selling Belotti up to 70 mil at some point. He's leaving for free now. He's insane. If
He
you
is.
become, if let's say if he says, if Cairo says, I want 40 mil for Bremer, and Inter's like, we'll give you 32 plus bonus, and Juve are like, we'll give you 40 million cash. He will be at the stadium the next day. He's gone. He will sell.
Or-
He needs that
I
money.
think that, yeah, I can see that. Like,
I
if
get you.
money will talk, regardless. If
Of
it
course.
meets that threshold, and I know these guys talk out of their butts all the time. Oh, I want this much. You've explained it, how crazy this guy is, but at one point he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll take that," and deal's done.
Okay. Padula is saying absolutely nothing today. Saying the leg is for sale. Like the club doesn't want to sell him, but he's looking around. Blah blah. The club wants money. That's it. Cash. Nothing else. But to be honest, Romeo is kind of pushing into the direction that the club is open to including deals, and we will go to that later on the show. I have one bit of news I want to talk about. So we're gonna stay a bit on topic. Muda is saying, what is the Timber situation? He's staying at Ajax because Van Gaal scared the shit out of him. He basically told them, if you go Man U and you don't play much, you're not playing in the World Cup. It's done. So he's staying Ajax because he's scared. Like that's actually what happened. You know, because it was almost set in stone that he was going to join Tanaka and Man U, and then Van Gaal said that. Done. And Homofew makes a great point. 64 votes, 70 likes. So please like the video. Also 30 likes from 3,000 subscribers. So
Yeah, so there's
Great.
like 39 people. So like I only know 9 people that are subscribed in here, so all 30 of you need to subscribe, or you'll hear Justin talk about Chick-fil-A the next late night live.
Or my
Or-
chick
yeah.
of Phil. That's, I don't know if you guys caught up on that. I was making fun. We had a chick of Phil at a gas station, like a fill up your car. I don't know if you caught that last Thursday, but I felt like I need to explain that I wasn't an idiot.
Or-
And I know the difference between a chick of Phil and Chick-fil-A.
Or better yet, if we hit 3,000 subscribers, Davide and I will replace Justin Julian for the late night live, so you'll get the Double D show.
Justin's gonna come for you at the chat. In the chat. After the chat. In the chat.
Come at me, bro. We're ready. Let's go.
I've unleashed the Sofro.
Let me see. Yeah, here he is.
There's Justin. Hey, buddy.
Homofew, why aren't you in the... Yeah, Hanin makes a great point. I gave away 3 memberships yesterday, 5. And only 1 joined the Discord group. 1 hasn't responded. He texted me, or she, but he hasn't responded. The rest who got the membership, DM me on Twitter, and I'll sort that out. So yeah, that's that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that was basically the main news today. Zaniolo, Giovanni Albanese, because I was watching Juventus this midday. He's saying it's not really close. But yesterday he was kind of going into the direction that it's close. Like it's all over the place with him. So I'm not sure about that. He said the club Roma's not open to include players, while other sources are saying yes. But if we go back to February, that's when Romeo tweeted his tweet out that he retweeted today. He basically said, "Does the club like Zaniolo?" Yes, and even Cambiaso, he put that in that tweet. So I do believe, I don't think it's the right move, but I think Zaniolo will be the next signing. Unless the league leaves tomorrow, then maybe they will bring in a center back first. But
So we have to get excited now, right? For Big Z.
yeah, I need to go in front of the mirror after this and try my Zaniolo face out.
No.
I will say this: I don't dislike the player. I dislike the fee that we're gonna pay for him. That's what I
Yeah.
dislike. And If we were Man City, I wouldn't give two you know what about it because I don't care. We have money to burn basically, but we're not Man City, so I do need to care basically. I do need to.
I mean,
and I'm
if we were Man City fans, we'd have to hate ourselves as people, though.
Yeah, well,
not
do
gonna
those
lie.
even exist? Like, do Man City fans actually exist? I thought it was an urban legend.
But,
There's,
like-
some of the OG guys, but yeah, the new ones maybe not so much. You can debate that.
Yeah, I thought it was called the Empty Head for a reason.
But if we were Man City, I wouldn't care. I was like, yeah, bring him in, 50 mil. If it doesn't work out, screw you. But we paid close to 45 for Bernadeschi, and it was a disaster. It was. I'm not saying it's gonna end like Bernadeschi, but we need to look for we need to penny pinch us. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah. Like, if we got him for 20, 25, 30, I'm, not going to freak out too much. But if we're shelling out 60 plus, I'm not a big fan of that. I will crack open the emergency safe behind me if that were
It's gonna be 45, including bonuses. That's what I'm gonna stand on. 45.
Well, that's fair because he's not going to hit the bonuses because he usually gets hurt anyways. So
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm calling it now. Talking into existence, because that's what we do. We're going to get Bremer. Even if we sell Delict or not, we're just going to get him anyways. That's the whole point of tonight, is to talk these guys into existence. And Big Z's coming for 45. Like it or not.
Ooh, 45. Giovanni said that's what Juve values him at 40 to 45, while Roma's going 60, but they will drop down to around 50.
what?
So
It'll be like a $5 or $10 million loan plus another 40.
That's
Okay.
Jesus. That's a lot. Okay, what will you pay for Zaniolo? What's the price? If we pay that for Zaniolo, you will be like, I'm fine with it.
I'm again, because I'm a big Z guy for no reason, as I've stated. I'm okay for 45. I am actually okay with 45. I think realistically, he's probably closer to 40. He's proven that he's a 30 to 35 million player, but I think just because of his profile, he goes for 40 realistically.
Only way I would do 45 is if it's a 2-year loan.
And that's what Justin says. He said 45 with a long-term payment option is fine. So basically,
Yeah, and I think that's how it's actually going to play out. That's going to be sort of the leeway that's allowed in this deal.
Yeah, that's the only way I'd be comfortable paying 45 if we're doing it over a 2-year loan, just with installments instead of dropping a big 4 or 5 out of nowhere. Because then, for example, this year it's only going to cost us, 15 million on the wage bill or the process, and then next year it's going to be like 10 or 15. So if we're doing it over installments, perfectly fine with it, because then it's kind of like a low risk move per se financially, because then if we decide to dump him or do anything with him, we're not gonna be fronted with a $45 million bill off rip. Whereas if we drop 45 million cash right then and there, we have to move him, and we're gonna probably take a capital loss in that respect, because you are not going to get 45 unless he has the season of his life. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, so you're kind of you're going with more than I would say 40, and that's with bonuses included. And then I'm like, if it's 40 with bonuses included, I'm okay with it. But Anin said, let me pull up the comment because I had it on and I lost it now.
Yeah, she said, I don't understand why we're pushing so much. Why is he such a priority? Where would he even play with Di Maria? Don't tell me he's an 8. Yeah, that's a good. I think Allegri said he's going to be an attacking midfielder. That's what I heard.
It's gonna have to be 4-3-1-2. Again, I don't really know what our final formation.
I think it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1 if they're that dead set on Zaniolo.
Or that, yeah. I mean, and any variation of the. I mean, I guess it starts as a 4-3-3 and kind of breaks apart from there.
Yeah, but if you do a 4-2-3-1, that doesn't fit Pogba. That doesn't make sense at all, because unless Pogba's willing to play as a defensive pivot,
or you do a 4-4-2 diamond which is
Don't
ridiculous.
say that. Don't say that with Julian in the chat because he's gonna freak out. He just said the cursed 4-4-2.
I don't know. I was watching some Tifo football today, and
if
maybe I got some bad ideas in my head.
It's like Chad. If we're never on a live anymore, you know why? Because Davide quoted the 4-4-2 on a live.
Yeah.
Guys, 50 people, but on 26 likes. So please like the video and subscribe. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Zaniolo. I'm also a bit confused. I will say why I'm confused. Why we're pushing for him. I understand, and I don't understand. I understand because Di Maria has 1 year, and you need to have an option after that. I was just assuming we will go next season for that option, but apparently we're going now for that option. That's one, and I think my initial thought was we get Di Maria and we play Quadrado also on the right, and it would make more sense to get a player on the left because Chiesa's out. I don't know. There are rumors he will be back in September. I don't believe that, but he's out. So I thought it would make more sense to go for a left-sided player, a la Kostic, which is the rumor apparently. But if you're going to push, I don't believe we're going to sign Di Maria, Zaniolo, and Kostic. I don't believe that.
No.
I don't believe that.
It's not far-fetched if you have Di Maria and Zaniolo both in at the same window, because think about it, they're probably going to have Di Maria as the starter. Zaniolo integrates his way into the team, air quotes, on the right side, so it's like an alternating between the two. And then at the end of the season, Di Maria leaves and then Zaniolo takes over, because I think it's a less pressure situation for Zaniolo if he's alternating with Di Maria. So it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, if you get Zaniolo, you're not getting Kostic. So what are you going to do on the left? So are you going to convert Quadrado into a left winger, or Zaniolo into a left winger? That's the one thing.
Chiesa can play both. I prefer him on the right personally, even though we play him on the left. But I know if we go by Julian and Justin's way of thinking, is Di Maria plays up until essentially Christmas, the World Cup. Chiesa becomes healthy, takes his spot, and now the other wing is for either Zaniolo or Kostic, whoever we get.
And Justin says,
but
why don't bring in all three? Because Morata, and I agree, Morata. If you're not signing Morata, because at the beginning of the summer it was we're gonna buy back Morata and we're gonna move on Keane and we bring a backup for Vlahovic. Now Morata's gone, Keane still wants to go on, so you still need to bring in two. So maybe the Kostic thing makes sense, but if you have an agreement with him, if Atletico is saying we're not gonna lower to that amount, not even close, and you can get Kostic for that amount you were willing to pay for Morata, you close that deal now, today. You do it, done. You bring him in and you give him to Allegri before preseason, basically. That's how I'm thinking.
No, I get you, but the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, why is Frankfurt holding out for such a high price for a guy that has 1 year left on his contract?
That's what I said a few lives ago, because I'm not sure about the story.
I'm
actually not sure.
That makes no sense to me.
I think they can get another couple mil at least, though, because they were offered 15 by Juve. They want 20. I mean,
but
17?
think about it though, because if Frankfurt don't sell him by this transfer window, he's going to be in theory, it's half.
I think he will sign a new deal because they're offering quite a lot of money. That's one. So I do believe if nobody comes in for him, I think he will stay at Frankfurt because he has an offer to play Champions League football next season.
That's true.
It's a good situation to stay. He's been there for a while. He's one of their main guys. So I don't think that's a big issue. But the sources who are pushing that, if you want A sources, A level, they're not really saying it's that close. Basically, Juve just needs to add a 2 million to the fee and it's done. He will be in Torino the next day. The A sources are saying, yeah, there's interest, but that's it. But the B sources, and with B I mean a level below that, they're saying, yeah, it's an agreement, it's completely black and white. So that's why I'm this isn't real, kind of real. It's too big of a difference between one report and the other report. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, no, we just got to wait for our Lord and Savior, Momblano, to do something. Because, hey, segue onto that, join the members group because you get to see everybody's meme picture of Momblano. So we have a couple of Jesus Momblanos and a bunch of Mona Lisa Momblano pictures as everybody's profile picture in the chat.
Yeah, and Hanin, I don't know what happened with her, but she went from the most, not the most, but one of the most positive people in the chat to absolutely negative.
It's because she went on Twitter, the two of you.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm trying to keep her straight on Twitter, but yeah.
You guys this weekend, like it was getting pretty depressing.
I'm not gonna lie though, like when Hanin and Misak changed their profile pictures, Hanin has it with Momblano with a crown on it, and then Misak like photoshopped Jesus's face out and put Momblano on Jesus's face. I like literally died laughing because it was absolutely hysterical.
It was funny. Yeah, even when things get bad in the members chat, we find a way to make it not so serious.
Fabiana De Rafael is a B source ? I'm not saying not B. I'm not saying she's awful.
Would you consider her a B source? Because she was only right on the Vlahovic deal, but like everything else she's gone after has just been kind of like just air, like nothing to it.
She hasn't done well lately.
Let's see, but I don't think he. Di Maria is a left winger. Oh no, that's what I mean. Like if that happens, oh my god. I mean, he can play. He can play as a left winger.
Good.
I think he can do it, but
I think they're more willing to put Cuadrado on the left wing because he can cut in with his right foot. I think that's more possible than throwing Di Maria.
Like I'm sure any world class winger can play on either wing, but how much are you handicapping them by putting it on that wing? How well are they with their off foot, for instance? Like Di Maria is that good. He probably could if need be, but is that where he's best? Probably not. It's probably on the right.
I agree. No, I don't. Like even Cuadrado on the left. I know, right foot, but like, oh no, that like we're kind of cutting pieces and putting in different play. Like it's too much. Like just fix it. Fix it in the transfer window.
And think about it though, because like if we're still talking about Zaniolo, but like where does Cuadrado go? Because if you buy Zaniolo this transfer window, what does he do? Because you have Danilo and De Sciglio on the right as a right back, so like Cuadrado's technically third in that pecking order, and then he'll be third on the winger pecking order with Di Maria, Zaniolo, and him. So it's like
I think that's good though, because he's at the point of his career where he's a utility player. He can play anywhere along the right essentially, but he's old, so he comes in when you need him. Fresh legs for an older guy.
My concern with that though is like if he's not playing consistently, then he's not gonna really offer you much. He's gonna turn into a Bernadeschi, and then everyone's gonna like go at him with pitchforks.
I think Cuadrado's gone after this season. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
I wish we could sell him this summer, but
I think if Molina stays at Udinese, I'm pretty sure we know what's gonna happen next season. Cuadrado's gone, and they will splash cash for Molina. That will probably happen. And I like if Udogie and Molina stay, I think next season that's the transfers the club will do. They will dress both left and right and pay the money. It's a lot of money, but if you fix everything now, then maybe you can do it back then, really quickly. You go.
Oh yeah, just I think next year really, because that's why they say a 3-year plan. Next year is when all the moves are happening. That's when all the money gets freed up from all these horrible, ridiculous, I mean, whatever Arthur's making types salaries that they're paying out, So yeah, Cuadrado's probably going to be one of those that's going to be off the books, and all that money's going to be freed up to get guys like Molina in this case.
Yeah. Really quickly, 1 minute. Momblano was speaking on a TV channel, Lombardia TV channel, and he said that Dybala has basically a new agent, and they made contact with Juve saying we're gonna lower our demands. At some point, that news was coming out, and even if it happens, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because at the moment, he looks kind of clueless, on the market. It's like, what's going to happen? But really quickly, because somebody asked it in the start of the chat, I have another news story I want to get to because there's no breaking news today. And that's Jorginho. Not linked, but Nico Shira. Let me get that up to the screen. This is what Nico Shira said this morning. Oh no, that's a different story. What the hell did I do? Oh, I know what I did. Excuse me. So the news story from Nico Shira was that he was in Milano today, and that he wants to go back to the Serie A, and Chelsea don't want to renew him. That was the news basically this morning. And then Monblano spoke saying Juve's contract proposal to Chelsea for De Ligt is 75 million pounds, so that's 85 million euros, plus Jorginho valued at around 20 million euro. What do you make of that? Like, first question, will you do that deal? 85 mil plus Jorginho.
Gets you thinking this one.
No, I would still say no, because we already have too many midfielders. So bringing in Jorginho, you're going to overpopulate your midfield. So I'm not a big fan of that move, because, yeah, we could say that Jorginho had an off year and had a great year with the year prior to, but like we're bringing on something, because like look at our midfield room. We're packed. We have Pogba, we have Arthur, we have McKennie, we have Zakaria, we have Arthur, we have Ravello, we have Moretti, we have Fagioli. So we have almost 8 midfielders, and then you bring in Jorginho, you have 9 midfielders total. So like, what are we? And then the problem is, then if we do get Jorginho, is we're not going to be able to move midfielders that easy, because clubs know that we have to sell, so they're going to try to lowball us on offers and give us terrible deals on players that we're trying to sell out. And because the thing is, we can't loan these guys because they have to be gone, just because of the new loan rules that are going out. So it's like we'll have a total of 9 midfielders in our room, and where are we going to move them? Like, if we move, say hypothetically, say that we moved Rabiot, we moved Arthur, we sold Ravella, and we're possibly moving McKennie, then I'm a little bit more open to doing it. But like right now, as we currently stand, I think that's a terrible move for us, and that's going to hurt us. Even though we're getting the 85 million for De Ligt, that's going to hurt us really bad, because we don't have any movement for our midfielders. So then clubs are going to know that Juventus has to sell. So instead of getting that 20 million for Rabiot, you're going to have a club offer you 12 or 13, because they know you have to have a fire sale. So you have the supply and the demand's very low. So I'm going to play the club as much as I can for it.
Yeah, that is a good point. It does depend. You get rid of Rabiot and Arthur, then yeah, absolutely. I'd say you'd go for that. Was it Hasta that mentioned there that we paid 85?
Yeah.
It comes down. This is why it's so tricky, because again, there's the emotional attachment. It's how much we love De Ligt, how much we want to stay on the team, and then being realistic that if he really does want to leave, if he wants to go to Chelsea, to the EPL, I mean, we have to get the money while we can get the most value out of him. I mean, I don't know. Is that the most value right now?
Was De Ligt really in Milano? Because I saw him on Instagram with Chiesa. They were having dinner with Chiesa somewhere.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
No,
it means he likes Chiesa. Who doesn't?
Well,
I love him.
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. But it's just, yeah, like for me, it makes no sense. And then also, like, so we talked about the Jorginho aspect. Let me shift to the 85 million. So we bought him for 85 million. Did he play like crap any of those 2 seasons, or these 3 seasons that he's with us? If not, I think he's better now than he was when he was at Ajax. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, that's why you get 105
yeah, that's
million.
Why exactly. Yeah. So like, why?
Yeah, they're
so like,
offering
if we're
20
taking
million in Jorginho, that's what they're doing. Or like that's what
Yeah.
Juve apparently is asking for.
But again, it's like those things where it's like, if anything, like his release clause is 125. I'll take the 100, because again, if we're looking at it from the checkbook, we're getting that cash for De Ligt because it's more of a progression base, and then a player on top of it. Because Why would I have the offer based off? Why would I accept the offer based off of what we paid for him? And yeah, I get it. We can value Jorginho at 20 million, but for me, like including a player is just kind of like a cop out, especially a player that in theory we don't really need per se. So it's like if Chelsea want De Ligt, they have to raise that offer to reflect of De Ligt's potential growth that he had with us the last 3 years. And that's it for me. Like if not, kick rocks and go buy Koulibaly from Napoli. Stay away from De Ligt if you're not going to give us a serious offer.
So how about 85 million plus for Burner?
Timo Werner, absolutely not.
I just wanted to get people.
Yeah,
Burner thing is it's weird. I just see that the date says Sunday, so yeah, it's not Sunday. But that's Jesus Christ. I agree with Dash that we have a lot of players, but at that point, we're trying to sell now. Wait.
Yeah, for me, De Ligt is either cash or nothing.
Okay, so
unless you want to give us Reece James or something random.
Yeah, Dimash said it's done for Di Maria. It's just now making it official, but I think we kind of knew that. No, I want cash for the league. I just want cash. I'm confused. Like I'm confused with all the rumors. I think if you see what's being paid at the moment, like they're paying 60 mil for Rafinha. I think it's pounds. It's not even euros at this point. I'm not sure, but that tells me they have money. They have a lot of money, and they need two center backs. They need them. So, are you gonna pay or are you gonna sign Ake? Yeah, he's cheaper, but do you really want to replace Rudiger with Ake? Is that what you want to do, Chelsea? Okay, if you get Koulibaly, fine. I get that, but is that? I don't know, the Thiago Silva. I don't know. It's a weird thing. The Werner thing, it makes sense in terms of he will replace Morata basically, but he's on 11 million euros net. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I checked it net. He is not gonna tell Juve, sure, I will drop it to 6 or 5. Like that's never gonna happen. Like ever.
And this is the problem with paying these. I mean, unproven players so much money.
Well,
we're doing the same thing.
Exactly, and that's why my argument for De Ligt is like, hey, these guys have to pay cash or nothing, because what they shelled out almost 90 million for Timo Werner.
If somebody wants to laugh or cry, Marshall said that the club also asked information for Kimpembe. So yeah,
Kimpembe now.
It's cry. It's not loud. It's cry.
I would cry over it.
That's just an epic facepalm of ginormous. I don't want anyone from PSG ever to step foot in a Juventus club just because they're bad luck and their voodoo, whatever they have in the Champions League. Because like I mean, we've taken some losses, but like PSG is legitimately a meme team at this point when it comes to the Champions League. Like if you want to go to a banter house like page for the Champions League, I think like everything there is PSG. Like I think they have like they literally have the record for the worst comeback conceded ever in Champions League history. And like everyone thought Milan's bottle in Istanbul was bad, but like no, that 6-1 game against Barcelona was absolutely shambles. Even the Real Madrid one, man, like you have like one of the best front threes of all time and you guys still bottled it to a 34-year-old Benzema. Like dude. And I'm not dogging Real Madrid because I'm sure we have a bunch of Real fans that watch us, but like nobody thought that they were going to come back. Like that's absolutely insane. I don't want anyone.
I'm giving a lot of credit to this year's Madrid team. Like,
yeah,
they didn't do it pretty. I mean, they did what we wanted to do, was just beat all the biggest teams the worst way possible.
Exactly, and they have absolutely made 3 fan bases almost light up their stadium on fire. So like PSG, Liverpool, and Man City. I'm actually happy with them with Liverpool.
And I won money off that, so yeah, I'm happy.
If we sell De Ligt and we sign Kimpembe, I might not watch the following season. I might just skip it. I'm not doing that. I'm absolutely not doing that. If they
watch it for the lulz.
If they like, imagine losing Chiellini and De Ligt, and you tell the fans who are you're asking to pay hundreds of euros to watch a game, we're gonna give you Kimpembe with Bonucci. Oh my god! Like
Maybe it's going to be one of these player deals. Who are we trying to get rid of to PSG right now? Is it Rabiot's one of them, isn't it?
Crap. So Hanine just got me there. She's like, yeah, well, Di Maria's technically from PSG. Crap. I hope he doesn't play. Goose like, darn it. But she's like, and then she's like, Keane. So yeah, I mean, Keane sucks. So that's everything you guys need to know about a PSG player. But
trade Keane for Kimpembe.
I think
swap.
So at this point, I think Dimaggio's has absolutely no info, and he's like, I'm gonna wind those fans up a bit, because they're calling me out online. I'm just saying Kimpembe.
I know.
Because the club, seriously, like, I don't believe it, by the way, I don't believe the club is sitting there saying, we lost Chiellini and world class, one of the best, and the league, one of the best. You know what? We're gonna get Kimpembe, who is, he's comical. he's actually comical to watch at times. It's that. Hey clumsy.
Man, he had the best assist to Benzema in the Champions League. Like, that was a pure attacking midfielder's assist.
So would you put Rugani or Kimpembe out first?
I'll play Rugani at that point.
Okay, all right. That says a lot.
He's not. Kimpembe is not good. He's not good.
No.
And that's being nice, because I don't want to disrespect the player, because he's not our player.
Yeah.
But if it was, say, Rabiot, straight swap with Rabiot, do you do it?
I keep Rabiot for another season. No, because I've said many times.
Ali's like, he's like, I'll take Rabiot, convert him into a center back, and still play him.
Yeah. Like, I don't want the club to spend a single euro cent.
Well, and the thing is, now I'm kind of actually nervous about Di Maria, because like the last two players we got from PSG, Keane and Rabiot, have absolutely laid goose eggs and have not done anything. But like, maybe Di Maria's more proven, so we can, sleep a little bit better at night. But
we got these guys in the early 20s though, whereas Di Maria is 34 now.
Yeah, because how many years has Di Maria been at PSG? Has it been 5 or 6?
Something like that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I might have opened up Pandora's box in the comments where everyone's going to be like, well, we had some PSG players and blah, 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 blah.
Hanina's going to correct.
Hanina's already correcting you. So.
Yeah, I know. Don't get me started with Matuidi. Someone said Matuidi. Like, Matuidi had one good season. And
really
the rest
quickly,
was, like,
I didn't say Rugani is better than Kimpembe. I never said that. I'm like...
You just said you'd pick him in the lineup.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a single euro on
Which is almost saying the same thing.
If you lose Chiellini and the leg, you cannot sign Kimpembe. That's why I said play Rugani at that point. Like, you're throwing away money. We need a top level defender. We were struggling last season. Imagine if you lose Chiellini and the leg, how that will look at. You need a top level defender, period. If they want to add Kimpembe to the mix, fine, be my guest. I will still say no. Like, I was still not hyped about it. Like, I still think it's a waste of money, because you can invest that money wisely, like more wisely. But okay. But he cannot be the main guy coming in. Period.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's better than Rugani. Again, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, and I think that's one of the things that I think the chat's might be misinterpreting us, is we're saying that we don't want Kimpembe to be our main center back, but if he's in as a rotational piece, that's a different story. But like, if he's the guy that's that's going to be hypothetically paired up with De Ligt for most of the season, I don't feel too thrilled about that. Whereas, like, for example, if he plays that Rugani role where he comes in for like 2 or 3 games every now and then, if someone's got a muscle injury, then that's one thing. But yeah, like, if we're able to rotate, and this is fantasy football, but if we're rotating Gatti and Kimpembe in the starting lineup where they're not consistently a starter, then that's one story. But yeah, the thing that we're all 3 of us are all against is if we're bringing him as our 1A center back to replace either De Ligt or Bonucci, we're just kind of like,
and he wouldn't come as a second stringer anyways. I wouldn't agree to that.
No, I don't think so at all. Because he's technically the starter at PSG. So like, why would I go? Because in theory, PSG is a more financially bigger club as far as money wise, because they're funded by Qatar and they just have bottomless pits of money. So he's like, why am I going from here to here to be a backup where I was a starter at PSG? So like, that doesn't make sense for him to do that. But yeah, I think that's just a silly rumor of us being tied to him.
Yeah, and I think he's 26 now, so he's right in his peak. He should be getting the first team minutes all the time.
Because what is it? The Eder Militao at Real Madrid. I think is he his Brazil pairing with Kimpembe? Oh, no, Kimpembe plays for France. What am I? I'm on
Yeah.
something tonight. Never mind.
You're messing up.
I was reaching there.
That was a big
Yeah,
reach. But
yeah,
like,
that was a
okay,
huge
maybe
reach.
my reaction was over the top. Like, he's not crap, Kimpembe, but he's not what we need. Come on, like, let's be completely honest. Like, he has so many mistakes in him, too many still, for his age. Like, too many.
Yeah.
Misa saying he's like a French Romagnoli. I don't rate.
A little less awkward, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hanina's not happy with Di Marzio. Again, like, it's a weird story. Like, that came out of nowhere. Michael is saying, I fear that we're not going to have a choice but to depend on Rugani and Orgatti because I don't see Bonucci playing more than 25. Yeah, I mean, that's...
I don't disagree with you there.
If that's the case, that's close to a write-off season. You're not going to win the title, in my opinion. You're not... Like, if Bonucci is only fit for 20 to 25 games and you need to play Rugani, Gatti, with a Kimpembe, you're not winning the title. I'm not saying we're going to win the title, but if that was the idea, you're not going to win it. Like, I'm sorry. Milankovic, all great pieces, but not like you lose Chiellini, De Ligt, you cannot come knocking, like, you cannot imagine you sell De Ligt and Bonucci and Chiellini's gone, and in August you say, you know what, here we go, fans, we got Milankovic, he's going to partner Bonucci. No fan is going to take that. I think even Allegri at that point will be like, what the hell? So I don't think it's happening.
Let's not forget, it's Juventus. We have to have that solid back line. It's kind of our thing, right?
Yeah,
so we have to spend big. We have to have big players in that spot. We've been blessed having Chiellini and Bonucci for so many years. I mean, Bonucci minus maybe that Milan year, but I mean, great. And then to have De Ligt add in, roll in those last couple of years, we've been so blessed in that sense. But now things are getting kind of serious. We got to think about this. This is where we would have to spend some money. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you do. We're gonna wrap it up because we're in 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I jinxed it. I think I said there's no breaking news, so let's talk about Jorginho and then bam, not breaking but horrendous news in my opinion. So I jinxed that. So we're gonna wrap it up because I still need to make things for Julian.
Oh, there's another. So here's one comment. So someone, Matuidi played for us for 3 years. So how would you guys rate Matuidi's 3 seasons with us? I thought his first season was really good.
I love
his last 2 were. I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was a big Matuidi fan. I think his time was up. I still think he wasn't the worst midfielder at that point at the club. I don't believe he was an issue. We needed to improve, of course, but I love Matuidi.
Because I remember a lot of people hated him during the Sarri season.
It's fair. Fair. Like,
he
I understand why.
Have a great season.
I agree with that, but he wasn't the only one.
Yeah,
that was a messy season.
Yeah.
Real messy season. Even though we still won, like that was our last winning season. So to continue to crap on it, I don't know.
Yeah, he was definitely one of those like midfielders that was a great, like, I don't want to say he's like N'Golo Kante, but like he was a great defensive midfielder that would just like he would cover, because like I remember the amount of holes Ronaldo would leave by not dropping down and playing defense because he was hogging up the left side. Like I think Matuidi bailed him out so many times.
That's
like
what
I agree.
Like position wise, or like if you he's day and night with Rabiot position wise, in my opinion.
It's what Rabiot should be, like just a much younger version of it.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because we got him dirt cheap. I remember it was like less than 20 million too.
I remember when we signed him. I remember we were very close to signing him the season before that, and then at the final days, the PSG president, out of nowhere, he came out and said, "No, you're staying." And then in the following season, we got him. We're gonna wrap it up. It's done for tonight. Thanks everybody in the chat for joining. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. Go watch Justin's daily after this. He talked about Bremer. Tomorrow, daily live as always. If we sign Cambiasso, an extra live, most likely. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Davide and Dash for coming on and helping me out.
You need all the help in the world. We're here for you.
Yeah, just wait, guys. You'll see Davide and us at the late night show.
I'm on holidays right now, so if you guys want to stay up late and drink, I'm in. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Also, really quickly, Home of Juve, DM me on Twitter now, or the main account, and we'll put you in the Discord group. And then we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao, guys.